From all the pyramids ever built, this one is the greatest. It stands on the Giza Plateau in Egypt as it has for almost 5,000 years. Some say it was a tomb. Some say it was a gateway to heaven and eternal life. Whatever it may be, and we may still wonder, why was it built in this way? Why in this shape? Why to these dimensions? To these proportions? To these angles? Were these practical choices, or were they inspired by precious knowledge and sacred wisdom? And so let us take a look at the architecture of the Great Pyramid and its meaning, which you will see started with the struggle for water, without which life in the desert could not be, and then became signs from the heavens given to the ancient Egyptians by their gods, the sun, the moon, and the stars, sacred astronomy. And these signs told them when the water would come, and so with deepest adoration and spirituality, they transformed these signs into geometry, mathematics, and the timeless monuments which still stand there today after thousands of years of our known history. The Great Pyramid is the utmost symbol of these sacred signs and spirituality, which began as the struggle for water and ended with Egypt's state religion during its early beginnings. The interior of the Great Pyramid is like that of no other. 3 chambers, passageways pointing to certain stars, a core of pure granite containing the enigmatic sarcophagus, and a tower of 5 chambers above its ceiling, never before or after built like that again. The Great Pyramid stands with 2 others on the Giza Plateau, the pyramids of Khafre and Menkaure. The alignment of these 3 pyramids on the ground at Giza is like that of the 3 belt stars in the constellation Orion. Orion was worshipped as Osiris by the ancient Egyptians, the god of resurrection, and Egypt's mythological founder king who ruled over her with his sister Isis. When Orion appeared on the horizon on the morning of the summer solstice, the long-awaited flooding of the Nile was near. This alignment with the belt of Osiris may have existed even before the pyramids were made, with even more ancient monuments dwelling there before. Who designed the Great Pyramid? We think it was this man, Hemiunu, grandson of Sneferu, vizier under Khufu, who was the greatest of the 5 of the House of Thoth, suggesting that he had been initiated into the greatest knowledge the ancient Egyptians possessed. To understand Hemiunu's design, we must first ask what measure he used, and the answer is the Royal Egyptian cubit, made of 7 palms, each 4 fingers wide, for a total of 28 finger widths in length. Geometry relates the cubit to our modern measures, the meter and the foot. The cubit is 1/6 of the circumference of a circle, whose diameter is a meter. Said another way, the cubit is the constant pi divided by 6. And here are the dimensions of the Great Pyramid the way Hemiunu designed it. 440 cubits on the base, 280 cubits high, and with a slope of 51 degrees and 50 minutes of arc, so that the incline length reaches up 356 cubits from the ground to the top. Today, the true perimeter is almost completely gone. Only a few casing stones mark the original lines of the Great Pyramid's dimensions. When Hemiunu designed the Great Pyramid, only 6 large pyramids had been made before. But there were also 7 mysterious small pyramids Egyptologists call cultic, because they did not serve as tombs. Why were they made? Was there a breakthrough in sacred science which set this cult into motion at the end of the 3rd dynasty? We will examine this question later. Let us now look at the sequence of those pyramids built before the Great Pyramid. The first pyramids were made during the 3rd dynasty, and they were all step pyramids. the legendary Imhotep built the very first pyramid for King Djoser near an ancient cemetery at Saqqara. Djoser's son Sekhemkhet tried to build a similar complex nearby, but probably died before it could be completed. And then came the layered pyramid of Khaba, also never completed. At the conclusion of the Third Dynasty, King Huni built a small cultic pyramid made of granite on the island of Yebu, known as Elephantine, oriented to the star Sirius, the sky image of Horus and Isis. This unusual pyramid's dimensions were not randomly chosen. The numbers came from what ancient astronomers saw in the night sky, and this small cultic pyramid may be the key to understanding the Pyramid Age, which rose to its magnificent peak right after. With Sneferu, the Fourth Dynasty began, and he built not one, not two, but three massive pyramids. After the pyramid at Maidun and the Bent Pyramid, he built the magnificent Red Pyramid. All three were cased with smooth limestone, a major advance from the step pyramids of the Third Dynasty. And then came Khufu, under whose orders Hemiunu created the greatest, most mysterious, and most studied monument ever built. Djoser, Huni, Sneferu, and Khufu. This is where our quest begins, to decode the architecture of the Great Pyramid.